there anybody here? Do we have anybody with us?
I don't think so.
So, all right. Today is Wednesday, January 10th, 2024, our first Park and Rec meeting of the new year. I will officially call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. We will do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just because we're on camera and I know we can't see everybody, if we can maybe go around for a roll call.
Roll call.
Jamie Herbison,
Nicole Cottrell.
Dan Gerke.
Kurt Miley.
Tiffany Barnes.
And Chris Jenkins.
All right. Next is the consent agenda. We are looking for approval of the minutes from our November 13th, 2023 Park and Rec meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, moving on to public comments. Any comments from our public
not today.
All right, moving on, items for action and or discussion. First one obviously is super important is our winter walk. We want to finalize planning and our needs. First I want to show, we can find it somewhere. These are our lights. I don't have the bags yet. Those should be coming hopefully any day now. They didn't deliver like they were supposed to. So right now I have 300 lights. When Administrator Jenkins and I spoke the other day, we were kind of back and forth on how many we need. I don't know if we need 1,000. What anybody thinks.
Do we, well, what I was gonna ask is, do we have a route or anything picked out yet?
Yes, so the plan is to start basically where we did for the mud run and walk back the same route as we did for the mud run, cross the bridge of the creek, go through the woods, come back on the other bridge over the creek that ends up at the south side of by the French yard waste area, and then walk back through to the path and come back around. Unless we think that's too long.
I just wonder if 300 lights would be enough.
I mean, I can order more.
What's the miles? Is it like a half a mile or?
I wanted to get out on Saturday and walk it and
I could
do the mileage
fart around with that for.
with this, which was not super great, but
Figure it out.
I have a question. Who is actually in charge of the winter walk? Is it like the Friends of Fredonia or is it the Park and Recs? Because they're like the newsletter said Friends of Fredonia and the email or the Facebook posting said Parks and Rec by the Village of Fredonia. So there's two different people listed for the same event.
Yeah, so it's the village's event, I would define it as, but the proceeds of that event, if somebody were to bring a cash donation, go to Friends.
Makes sense.
all right, well, Bob, we're gonna the route. So we had talked about volunteers. I know we reached out to the Friends of Fredonia. Do you guys know how many you'd be able to help us with for volunteers that day?
Well, first of all, we thought it was the 19th.
Yeah, that's
So that kind of screwed us up a little bit.
and that was my bad.
It's okay. So I guess it's a work in progress, but right now it's really not looking that good, except for like us as like a group.
Like, yeah, maybe 5 people tops.
From the Friends of Fredonia,
Yep.
Like,
and I think that would be fine.
like literally us.
Yeah, this isn't meant to be a service heavy.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't think it needs
Well,
to
I was
be.
trying to think too. I'm like, what do we have to do? I mean,
Yeah.
set up, take down.
Yeah, it'll be helping set up, so I'll try and have all the bags done and ready to go for the day of.
Okay.
So we can grab boxes and start lining up throughout the day, or we'll probably go during the daytime and line them up. So if we can get a couple people to maybe help with that, 1 or 2, and then the night of, a couple people to help man the bonfire, and then a couple people kind of stage maybe throughout the woods, just to make sure people don't get lost.
Need Dan to help with bonfire.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be burning it, yeah.
Okay.
What time do you want to start setting up the lights at?
It gets dark about what? 4:30, right?
Yeah, I'd like to be there, during the day if possible. Let me just look at, really quick. So. Maybe like. I wouldn't hate getting out there around 2 to set up, and then as soon as we're done, we can disperse for the afternoon and then reconvene again. Maybe around, well, we have it starting at 6, so maybe 5:30-ish.
Do you guys know, are they gonna have like the barrel out there for food donations? And then are you guys planning on doing like any hot chocolate? Like we talked with the friends, but he said power might be an issue, but I mean, you can put hot water in a big thermos too.
We have
Those big
power out there,
sports ones.
if we wanna do that, but yeah, I mean, we have those ones that we use for the tree lighting too, so I could get that and. I'd probably just do hot chocolate this
Yeah.
time and not hot apple cider,
Yeah,
so I can donate that, I'll grab some and make that up.
do we wanna give it away or do we wanna sell it?
I think sell it, even if it's like $1 or $1.50. Like,
Maybe $1, because
That's-
then
yeah,
change is
that's- yeah.
difficult.
that's my opinion though. What you guys feel?
Do we still decide 300 lights? Is that gonna be enough then?
I'm trying to work on that right now.
Oh, you're still working on it. We didn't wanna forget about that.
And then
Do you
if
want
it
me to grab some
snows,
styrofoam cups then?
Please.
if it snows like the morning of, like, is there a time when Department of Public Works could be out there to clear a path? Or no? Being a Saturday.
For walking through the.
Yeah, like
park?
if it were to snow like that day, like if a path needed to be cleared, would they be able to clear it for us, or is that something we'd have to do?
That's a really good question, cause there's
Considering
gonna be a
it's a
bunch of
Saturday.
snow out too.
Yeah, but it would need to snow a lot. I mean, we're already gonna have been out there
Yeah.
a few hours prior.
I know this Friday it's gonna snow,
Mhm.
so I don't know if that'd make a difference.
Yeah, but like if it comes in on Friday night or something next weekend, like, would someone be able to clear the path if need be?
Well, I think the whole event is probably weather dependent. I mean, we were worried we weren't gonna have any snow and now we're on the.
I
other side
know.
of it, So,
But are we worried if there is too much snow? I mean, it is a winter walk.
Mhm.
Well, it'd be too much snow, like a foot.
That's a loaded question.
Right? I mean, we can always ask.
I think it's the first time we're doing it, so I mean, we really don't know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if we
We-
can get them to clear out a portion of the road and the parking lot,
Yeah.
I think the
that's-
path,
people would be fine
it
walking
kinda-
on it, whether there's snow
yeah,
or not.
it is what it is.
We'll be
kind of
walking there
thing.
an hour before.
Yeah, anybody got
Follow the
snowshoes, we can
footsteps.
bring, stamped down.
I mean, the thing is if we had a lot of snow, we wouldn't wanna cancel it, would we?
No, I think.
I don't
I
think
mean,
so,
cause
'cause
snow
I
is
think
what we want.
The whole
Yeah.
point of it is to get people out of the house that
Yeah.
have been cooped up for so long and, especially we're gonna be coming off a really cold week. Um,
I mean, snow doesn't bother me, I don't know I mean,
Well, and I
So-
think if you're going to do a winter walk, you kind of expect some of that.
yeah,
Mhm.
Um,
that's what I kinda thought, yeah.
I'm just looking at the projected weather for the 19th, or I'm sorry, the 20th. So it's gonna be 11 degrees up for a high that day.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
boy.
So it's gonna be cold.
Great.
It's
It's like
like,
the Long Johns.
it's like. It's. Alright, so this is really, really rough, but it's like 3/4 of a mile if you're kind of doing this general thing. Where you
Okay.
go back through and kind of
Mhm.
like what the mud run was back out outside. So.
In footage, that would be, let's see,
Ooh, gonna do the calculation,
sure. I think it's 5280
5,280, yeah.
divided by,
0.75.
or times 0.75. So that's 3,960 feet, so that's roughly
Call it 4,000.
4,000. So if you had 300, you're gonna have both sides, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you probably want to divide 4,000 by 150 because you're gonna have them on both sides. So that's one every 26.6666 feet.
So we should have more than that.
You probably have more than that.
Yeah.
So you said you want you up to 1,000 maybe, right?
Gigs.
do we
Did
do,
you say 1,000 or what, like 300?
well, we
more?
just threw that number out, maybe we just.
Okay,
double
let's
it
say
and we do
300 more, so it'd be
every
600.
4,000 or 600, what's that about? It's gotta be like.
So now we got it down to 6.6666.
That's almost.
Wait a minute, did I divide it by 600? I shouldn't have done that. I should have done it by 300, right? Because they're gonna be one on both sides.
So you'll be staggering them as well, so.
So divided by 300 would be 13.3333.
Which is plenty.
I think 10 to 15 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 300 more. 600 total.
Hope they got a lot of Christmas trees down
They do,
there.
I don't know if they do have them.
Oh. I haven't either. I hope they do have a lot of Christmas trees down there. That's what we're burning. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And Eric's got a lot of stuff, I guess,
Yeah, I
pulled
think
together,
they've been-
brush and stuff.
Throwing stuff.
Should have my Christmas tree out there by then, so. It'll be a contribution.
It's gonna be cold.
11 degrees, huh?
That's during the day.
Well, that's what it
during the day.
says.
Yeah,
So then probably like 0 at night.
Just pray for not like 40-mile-an-hour winds and stuff.
In Wisconsin, come on.
So I'm doing hot chocolate, I said.
yep, you're gonna get the hot chocolate, I'll pick up cups, I'll order more lights, I'll order more bags. We'll plan on meeting out there around 2 on Saturday for anybody that wants to come and help set up bags along the path.
It's good call.
We should be back by then.
If you wanna bring
Sure,
the
sure.
lights and bag supplies here, we could create a little assembly line with
Kids are in
real
basketball, yeah.
fast.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
That's rough.
It is.
I'm glad they could pay that.
Basketball's fun.
That is a lot of fun.
Played it all my life.
So I just took a screenshot of this. So I will send it to somebody if somebody wants to. If somebody wants to use it as like for a flyer or Facebook post or something, it'll kind of sort of show the route a little bit. And I put the mileage at the bottom too.
So for the hot chocolate, do you guys want to, from Friends of Fredonia, man a table
Mhm.
to set up
Sure.
there?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what about like a donation, like hot chocolate by donation? Like, do you think that,
Oh,
or just do
That's
like a
actually a good
dollar
idea.
by
I
donation?
mean, we've been advertising that this is a free event
Mhm.
and, you know,
Yeah.
donations are encouraged, so.
Okay, so by donation sign for hot chocolate.
I think we have a couple, or a good amount of people actually already that have said that they are interested at least.
Mhm.
I can make a sign that says by donation, and I have a laminator at home too.
Okay.
Cool.
Just to sit on the table.
Um,
So bring like a little table.
well, that was my next question. Can we get into the building that's right there?
On the other side of the bathrooms, that little storage thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to think that's filled with stuff, so.
I know there's soccer stuff in there
Yeah. But
typically,
yes, you.
but I'm just wondering if we could at least have them inside undercover and have the table
Some
right there and
shelter.
that concrete
that'd
just
be
for a
good.
little bit of shelter and then try and keep stuff.
Do you
little bit
need a
warmer.
table? I have a couple 4-foot tables or 4-foot tables.
I could bring some too if needed, so whoever wants to do it. I know mine are 6 foot.
Yeah, I have a couple of those, but I have 4-foot, so whatever it feels easier.
I mean, if it's a calm night, that could be a lot of fun,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, I think if we get. Kids could bring their slides too and slide down the hills into the soccer field,
That's a great idea.
down the big hill too, could be fun.
But then when we start the fire about 4.
Probably something like that.
He's like, let's talk about fire.
Oh, we got the fire. It's gonna be great. And we're gonna be throwing whole Christmas trees on, so it's gonna
Can
be.
you
a
make
lot
sure
of
the
fun.
fire is by the hot chocolate?
Thanks.
Can we make arrangements?
Yeah, yeah.
And just confirming, we do have, somebody from the fire department is going to be,
Present.
and if it gets out of control.
I guess we
Hopefully
we
shouldn't,
can
but
make sure.
I was that happy.
So actually, Eric is on the fire department.
Yes.
too, so.
I wasn't sure if he's gonna be there or not.
Make sure the hose hooked up.
Make sure the water's not shut off over there.
It definitely is. We'll figure it out.
Okay, and then cleanup, do we wanna try and clean up that night, like
Somebody walk the course and just,
grab bags and?
Yeah, I think
Nine
it'll go pretty quick. I would think.
Well, probably if all of us that are there did it.
Yeah,
yeah, cause it's just the candles and paper bags, right?
Isn't it creepy back there?
just see, a little bit, I'll have some flashlights and lanterns and stuff that
Pepper
we can
spray.
bring along too.
Bear could be back there.
I wasn't gonna
Or
say
bread.
it. I was not going to say it.
Be prepared, not scared.
Mountain lions, yeah.
Do we wanna set a time to kind of, my mother-in-law has them in the backyard,
Have what in their
What?
backyard?
mountain lions,
Really?
they're way up north though. but
Oh,
yeah.
my son has rats in his yard in Milwaukee.
As what?
Rats. Like,
Oh,
he's like,
there's
watch
no
out for the
rats.
rats.
Huge.
Like,
Believe me, I was.
Bounce off the wheels here, okay?
It happens.
So do we wanna have a,
Biggest conversion.
like a finish time, like, do we wanna have a, just an idea maybe of projected time of
I think
like,
there is one in the
When we
batch
would be-
already.
Yeah, I mean, we can be kind of loose with it, but I'd say like the walk will end at a certain time, right? But if we're just kind of hanging out.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if we,
The cooler.
you know, by 8 o'clock go and start cleaning up.
I think it says till 9 on
Yeah, we're
that.
advertising 6 to
Okay.
9.
It's Saturday, you know, and Sunday.
Something.
I do too, actually.
Just make sure that the those other two down are being busy.
And then do we have a barrel that we used here at the village for the food donation?
I remember if they took it, if it's ours, it might have been theirs.
I do have a food
Nikki has one at
donation
her
barrel.
salon.
You have one?
Yeah, I had one during COVID
Oh,
and like, cause people like donate at my work.
Oh,
and
I see.
Text them and they come pick it up
well, that's cool.
and the food goes bye-bye.
That's good. Do
So,
you wanna bring it? And I
Yeah, yeah.
can,
Put
I
it in my
can
house.
be in charge of dropping it off, cause they're actually just on the road from my work, so.
Perfect. Got it.
If that works for you, and then I'll bring it back.
Can do that.
So,
Alright, what else are we forgetting or not thinking about?
is there access to a garbage can, like, down there in case of people like their extra cups? There is, like, okay, cool.
see if we could put one right outside the wastewater treatment plant too, like right by the fence line there. The guys can pick up on Monday. Mhm. This is gonna be a fun event. I'm excited for it. I hope we have people show up and.
It'll be just us.
Yeah.
We can all walk. May I request white?
Sure. Oh,
Perfect.
BYOB, come
I was pressing my luck there. You gotta try.
on. Well, we can do that. It's a park, right?
So
The
2
park is
PM
technically only
Saturday.
open till 9.
Keep going. Yeah.
Okay, moving
Alright,
along.
what else are we thinking? Anything else that we can think of that we need? No? No? Okay, so just to recap, I'm gonna order 300 more lights, 300 more bags. I'll let you know if we'll do an assembly line
Yep.
here, or if I'll
Mhm.
get that done before. Dan's gonna pick up hot chocolate, I'm gonna pick up styrofoam cups. Jamie, you're gonna do a sign for the hot chocolate for donation. Nicole, you're gonna bring a food donation bin.
Mhm.
I will take the food, whatever's donated, and drop it off at Ozaga Food Alliance. Dan and Kurt are gonna man the fire. And then whoever else that shows up is gonna just kind of help walk through and make sure people aren't getting lost in the woods. We will meet there around 2 for anybody that can come and help set up lights. And then you guys will be there around 4:30-ish for the fire. Roughly 4:30, whenever.
Right.
And then the rest of us can plan to move back there about 5:30 and get everything else set up the rest of the day.
And the walk officially starts at 6?
At 6, yes. All right,
We'll wrap things up at 8, you're saying?
9,
9,
so. So then we'll do a final walkthrough around 9-ish and
okay.
grab everything. So
But I don't know what it is now.
I'll bring some, I think I've got a nice fishing sled
Oh,
that's
nice.
nice and deep that we can, I'll bring that along so we can kind of pull it behind us as we go. And
Are you going to advertise for people to bring their like sleds and stuff like that?
the only thing I would be nervous about
Somebody get hurt?
advertising for it is because there's like in the actual, like the soccer field and the big hills and stuff,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no lights over there.
Mm,
You got the lights that come off the wastewater treatment plant and in
That's
the
it.
parking lot, but that's it.
Yeah.
Just as a,
or somebody gets like hurt.
yeah,
Does the fire department have? Like, light poles like that for generators and stuff?
I would imagine they
imagine
would
they
have
would.
some big.
they would have
lights.
to.
I wonder if we could utilize that for that evening.
For that parking lot area.
Yeah, it'd be like for the parking lot area or for, yes, I mean, like we done. There is.
Maybe
hill,
shine it into the soccer fields from the parking lot area.
So that kids can sled or something, but something to bounce off the fire department and see.
Do you want to touch base with them?
It's a really good point that I was gonna make. I can't remember what it was now.
You remember it at like 1 AM
I will
when you
text
can't
everybody.
sleep. Oh, perfect.
Just remember, if you text me after 9, you get one back at 5 in the morning.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Then maybe as we get closer, kind of see what the weather is like, and then maybe we can make a post about bringing sleds and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
All right. Any other questions or things that we? Will the bathrooms be open?
We're gonna do interesting for this.
If they had been,
Oh, we already do interesting.
well, we've done it a couple times actually.
Well, let's make sure that they're.
Yeah.
That hard to do it again, just to do.
Okay, Jameson.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't think I have any more questions, do you?
I don't think I do either.
We're excited. I'm excited.
I mean, I'm feeling something. I don't know if it's excitement.
It will be. It
It'll
will.
be, sir.
Okay, then moving on to the next item for discussion is the River Edge Stony Creek cleanup discussion. I'll kind of kick this off a little bit. So I believe at our last meeting, forget her name, from River Edge was here talking to us about some of the programs and everything that they have. One of the items that we had chatted about briefly was maybe doing a portion of a river cleanup. And Dan had brought up, it would be a good idea to maybe look at cleaning up Stony Creek and the area around Stony Creek Park and through that. So they had reached out and was asking again what we thought and if we wanted to continue this discussion on cleaning up Stony Creek.
Do you want me to read the email that I got?
Yes,
or-
please.
Okay, just gonna find it. Mm.
Yeah.
Thanks for the,
Oh, there we go.
found it?
Oh, I found your email.
Oh, that's good. That should be. That's a good idea. Let's send.
1228.
Oh, 28. There it is. Seven. There we go.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I just found it.
All right, so we have, based on, like Tiffany says, the conversation that we had, with, what is her name, Brianna? Yep.
Yes,
She sent an email saying, "Hello, Dan, it was a pleasure meeting you. Excited about the prospect of collaborating on community initiatives. During our conversation, you expressed interest in organizing a creek cleanup with the assistance of the Community Rivers Program. I'm writing to you to express interest in the event. I was wondering if you had a specific time of year in mind for this. Additionally, I was wondering if you know if there are any specific areas along the creek that require particular attention. If this is Stony Creek you're talking about, I imagine the section that runs through Marie Cross Park would be very accessible for cleanup. I do know that the creek can get very deep, so we will have to be strategic if we plan to get people in the creek, but I know there are many sections that are easily shallow enough to walk through. Your insight would be invaluable in planning and executing." And goes on to say that she's excited to be able to bring residents together and things like that, and then to respond to her. So there's multiple sections of the creek that I kind of envisioned. One of them was down in Stony Creek by the disc golf course and all that stuff. I guess I didn't really realize how long or how far the creek ran, but it comes basically from the railroad tracks. When it goes from the west side of the tracks to the east side, it goes all the way kind of through the subdivision and then down underneath Martin Avenue. All the way down next to the railroad tracks to basically where the DPW building is and all that, and then ends up coming around to River finally. So I wanna take a look at what the creek looks like between Martin Ave, for two sections, between Martin Ave south to like Fredonia Avenue, because that always floods. So I kind of wonder if there's something that we could do there to try to clean it up, get some brush out of there, those type things. And then the same thing kind of goes from Martin Drive north to where it goes to railroad tracks. It passes through private property. I know I have access to go over there, but it'd be good to go take a look there too and kind of see what we can find. I know 2 years ago there were big trees that fell down in there. I'm talking like 2-3 foot diameter ones that block the creek entirely. So I know the DNR also gets very kind of crazy about moving any structures that are in watershed area, but I guess this long rambling message that I'm saying is I guess we should really kind of take a look at everything and see what we want to do.
So
What could be
cleaning up,
cleaned up.
did she tell you what that entails? Is that just brush and what? I'm sure it includes trash.
Yes.
That gets,
Yeah, absolutely. So that's
So-
what I'd be interested in.
is there dredging involved too?
I don't know if
That
I'm probably not
would-
go that far, but it'd be nice.
I mean, probably dredging would, you would have to have special equipment.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
we're
think
not
it would
gonna
be
be doing
I
that.
think it'd be clearing some brush and
Mhm.
trash and.
Right. Making sure it's.
I mean, I guess it depends on what she defines as cleaning up, because,
Mhm.
I mean, I thought cleanup meant exclusively litter.
Yeah, I don't know, and that's a good question to ask her, right?
Yeah.
See what she kind of is thinking, but I'm kind of open to suggestions and to looking at everything at this point. I think that could be a really cool community project.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
one of the
that's
main water
good.
bodies that runs through the village, so.
It's a good idea. Gets people involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And makes them conscious of the river bodies that are around there that.
Yep.
And nature that it needs to be maintained.
Mhm. Absolutely.
We can even create some fun swag around it too.
Oh, we could do something like that. I would imagine this would be more of like a springtime thing.
Mhm.
I mean, that you're not gonna do it now, obviously, but kind of want to probably try to get in there before everything gets too high and overgrown and
For sure.
everything.
You can like make it a tradition.
Mosquitoes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it could be a tradition.
I mean, it would be nice. I want to say we used to do it, not we. We used to do it at Wabadonia Park every
Oh,
year. And I
yeah.
believe River Edge used to come in and do a big river cleanup.
It's awesome.
So,
You're probably talking anywhere from early June,
Right,
I would think.
yep, sometime in then.
yeah, April, May timeframe, I think would be good. June
Mhm.
starts getting into hectic summer schedules and busy calendars and things, but.
Right.
Yeah, I think April, May would be a good time frame.
So, I mean, I'm happy reaching out to her and continuing the conversation and kind of see what they all are thinking.
Yeah, have her put some ideas together, and if it makes sense to have her come to a meeting to
Yeah.
talk through some more stuff.
Sure.
And in the meantime, if anybody else has any ideas too, please
Mhm.
shout them out.
Yeah. Cool.
Reading the dictionary.
I know. Something else.
All right. Anything else on those two?
Oh.
All right, next one is correspondence. I don't believe we have any correspondence. And then lastly, the items for future consideration. So a couple things that we should probably chat about, Dan, is the fireworks chat.
Mhm. The rep that we've had for the past couple of years for fireworks for our fun before the 4th and the fire department's 100th anniversary celebration. I booked a date with him. I don't, so that we have our celebration date under contract. I don't have a budget or anything like that. So maybe next parks meeting we have, we can try to think about this a little bit more, but we did 12,000 for the 100-year fire department anniversary thing.
12,001
Dollars.
Okay. You said $300,000.
I did,
You were
yeah.
grossly exaggerating.
I was grossly exaggerating.
Being hopeful.
Just blow some crazy stuff up, but yeah. We need to figure that out sooner rather than later so they can order things and whatnot, but. We'll have to have a discussion as to what else is happening that day and everything too, so.
Right?
It's still, I'm sorry. I like have to do something.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's horrible.
Just wanted to make note that we did, if you guys saw, announce the holiday light contest winner. That was very exciting.
Who was it?
Just,
The person on Summit.
yes,
Okay.
Summit Drive and, Cody Cone.
Yeah.
Was the winner. Trustee Beglin was able to participate in that with me, so that was great.
Mhm.
Dan tried and
Failed.
we didn't,
Okay,
it didn't work.
I was gonna say, I didn't fail, I showed up to everybody
there.
and then nobody answered the door,
Oh, no.
so then. I didn't show up the second time and he was there,
You were there.
so I tried.
Okay, then just a quick overview recap of the things that Administrator Jenkins and I spoke about earlier this week was just kind of all the events within the village. So we've got the 4 music in the park nights, we've got all the bands booked, and it now sounds like we have all the food trucks booked. So the last thing we would be looking for is possibly the Friends of Fredonia to maybe come and sell beer and soda, if that's something that would be of interest.
What days of the week are the events held?
The dates are 5/28, 6/25, 7/30, and 8/27.
What day of the week does that fall on? Is it like
5/28 is a Tuesday. So these would all be Tuesdays.
okay? And that would be held up here?
At Freedom Park,
Okay.
correct?
Freedom Park, what, okay, I know you probably can give
What
me
food
exact
truck?
times, like what kind of time frame are we looking
Yeah,
at?
like, is it from 6 to 9? or-
Probably around that, give or take.
Then
So you have a food truck, but you're just looking for someone for like beer and soda sales? So someone would have to have like a liquor license?
We actually talked about that on one of the last discussions, and I forget what that answer ended up being. I think the friend of Fredonia would have to
Have one person?
have one,
Mhm.
apply for just a 1-day permit. I believe that's what it was. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember, Dan.
Class B,
That's-
I think it is, you just cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Just put in an
just
application, it's
a-
free, because you're not a profit.
We obviously have the Fun Before the Fourth, which you guys are very involved in with us. We've got Madonia. We don't have dates set for that yet. We have some tentative ideas for July, but nothing has been.
What
put
are
into
your
place
tentative
yet.
ideas?
The
Just like
20th or the
tentatively put in
27th.
my
It's either gonna be the third or fourth weekend in July.
third is.
So you said
Yeah.
July 10th or
That's
the
why I said it's
20th?
tentative. Nothing's planned yet or set in stone, so.
What time does Fish Day normally go?
Well, they have the parade and that's like 2 hours long usually. Well, that was before COVID. Now it might be shorter.
I'm just trying to think
No.
if, did we have it during Fish Day last year or this past year? too?
No.
No, the way it fell is. Madonia was the fourth Saturday of the
Mhm.
month,
And there was.
and there was still like, cause it was on the, I wanna say like the 25th of July,
Mhm.
so there was still a good
Mhm.
week after that. So there was 5 Saturdays in July is what I was trying to say.
Mhm.
I think it's best to avoid doing it the same day as Fish Day, just
Mhm.
because so many people end up at Fish Day.
And they have a run walk too in the morning.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
And we wanna make sure we keep an eye out for West Bends, cause I know West Bends is around there too.
We'll let you guys figure out what the hell it is and then we'll.
somewhere at the end.
Yeah.
But
Towards the
for
end of
sure
July.
in
you don't-
July. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah,
I'm
I
okay.
think so.
The 27th is my birthday, so I think that'd be a great day.
We're gonna cross promote. And Nicole's birthday party and the Madonia.
Please don't do that.
So Madonia last year was July 22nd.
Yeah.
Was that the third Saturday of the month, do you know?
I don't think so because I think the first one was like the second or something like
Was
that.
the fourth Saturday because
Yeah.
July 1st was the first. Saturday,
Yeah.
So it was fourth, yeah.
I should know that my birthday's on the second.
And we also need to, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, so is that the time frame you're gonna have it next year then? Is the fourth Saturday in July?
It'd be nice if we
And
can
that
keep
would
it
be like-
consistent.
And then
Yeah.
when was Port Washington Fish Days?
Theirs is always the third Saturday.
Okay,
There's only 3 days this year,
Fish Day?
13, 14, 15.
Oh, wow. Wow, well, the 23rd.
13th?
I was gonna say that wouldn't be the third week, would it? No.
Yeah, 13, 14, 15.
13th,
Oh, it's
is the
2023.
second
No,
Saturday.
but 18, 20, 18th, 19th and 20th is what they're doing in 2024.
Oh,
So July 18th, 19th, 20th.
Yeah,
So in conjunction with, if we do end up doing that Christmas in July type fundraiser to raise more money for the trees, would it be too much to have like the run and the mud run in the morning and then do whatever we're doing at the Christmas in July, like tie it together somehow?
no, I don't think it would
Because
be
I
too
also
much.
feel like with July, like it's really hard because people have vacation, but if people are already like making plans for that mud run, then they'll be available for whatever stuff we have planned later
For
that
sure.
day.
so what are you shooting for then? Are you shooting
So
for the
then we're
13th?
No, we're gonna shoot for the 27th.
That'd be a bad day for me. But I mean,
You mean
that's German Fest.
Oh,
It's hard because July is so busy for everybody. in
So I
August.
mean, you don't have to. If that's the best date for everybody else, I may be there. So
What is the second weekend in July? What like is that?
that's 13th.
it'd be Fish Day.
Oh,
That's fish.
I
No,
thought you
you
said
Fish
18,
Day was
19, 20.
19th.
It is. I apologize. I was looking at 2023.
So
again. It's
potentially you
20.
could still do July, the second weekend in July,
13th.
potentially the 13th.
Mhm,
Yeah,
one or the other.
When is fish day again?
the only thing I
18th,
would,
18th, 19th,
I would
20th.
say
Okay.
about that is we've got 2 village events pretty close to being back to back. We've got 2 weeks apart because we've got the 150th anniversaries on June
Oh,
29th.
yeah.
That might be a lot to
Yeah.
try and do 2 big
Quick.
back to back
Yeah.
like that.
I do think the 20.
7th would be best.
Like I said, I'm heavily involved in German Fish. So I'm with the German American Police Association,
Mhm.
so. But don't plan around me, or don't plan around me.
Honestly, we could do August 3rd too. I mean, it's the following weekend. Big deal.
When is fair weekend?
That
Oh,
weekend.
That
Oh,
weekend,
it is that weekend. That
And I
needs a
think
lot of
that's why
people, like the
we
4-H and
ended up
everything.
going with the last weekend in July last year.
Yeah, I think that,
27th is probably.
yeah, because otherwise fair weekend, you're competing with lots like 4-H and
Mhm.
everything.
and you said you didn't want to have it on the 13th because it's too close to the 150th.
Yeah, so we've got the
Okay.
150th on the 29th of
Okay.
June.
Okay,
Sorry.
it is what it is. There's only so many days in the
Yeah.
In the summer, you could schedule things, because like just about every weekend, something's happening.
Okay, well, I'll mention that to Chris, and then if the Friends of Fredonia want to kind of.
Yeah,
around
we'll
that,
talk
and
and
we'll-
then get back, figure it out.
And we'll continue doing Madonia and the planning of that for future stuff, so.
Yeah, I think that was a great event last year. I mean, that was just,
Mhm.
it was awesome.
Went splendidly.
I will not wear a dress.
I will not. regret it.
Shut underneath at least.
Well, that's good.
Did you run a course with a dress on?
Slip and slide. It was all over the place. Pictures everywhere.
Really?
Yes, people like send me pictures. I was like,
All I know is we gotta do something different with the mud this year, because that hurt.
We have to do something different with the slide this year if the adults are gonna partake in the mud run.
so it does all this stuff.
Okay, all right, so then the other two events that we have, just tentatively, there is nothing planned, there's nothing put out there. This is just discussions, are the movies in the park. If we wanna try and do that again this year, I think it was a good, Mario Brothers went really well last year, it was really good for us, we did a lot of raffles. I think the Baseball Association made a decent chunk of money that night, which was good for them. So is that something that we want to try and do again this year? Do we want to do two? Do we want to do one? Can it for this year or?
I think if you can for this year, people are gonna start going, "Oh, what? Oh," you know what I mean? Like,
Two?
right,
Yeah.
so I mean, if anything else, just do one, I would say.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's a good idea, because I think there's a lot of other stuff happening, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
Plus, if it's just
otherwise
one,
we're too
yeah.
overloaded here.
They
Sorry.
were like, "Oh, there's another-
Right.
If there's only one, we'll go to that.
yeah. We'll have
That's
to make sure we pick a really good movie too. I think kids, if we can keep it geared towards kids.
Do like Sonic or something.
I think that'd be good. While Maverick was a good movie, the
What is that?
Mario Brother, the Top Gun movie.
Top Gun 2.
Um,
It's good. Trust me.
yeah, it was a good movie. It just wasn't a
Good.
huge turnout. Mario Brothers was a much bigger turnout, which was good, but.
Well, I think half that had to do with weather, though.
So we went chasing the screen now.
We did, we tackled the screen. I
Oh,
wish somebody would have had a picture of that.
Somebody needs a GoPro.
It was hilarious.
Yes,
Fredonia GoPro.
yes.
We'll make lots of money for our stuff.
All right, and then just keeping it on the schedule. I know we just finished it, but just going through all the events, we've got the holiday tree lighting. I don't want to lose that, but we did talk about possibly moving the date, or looking at a different date, so just throw that out into the sky for everybody to think about. And then the ongoing one is the holiday contest, so we'll continue to do that every year, so.
I kind of like want to do some type of contest for the Christmas and July thing too. Sorry, that's a really big side note. I don't know how willing people would be to do something like that because I'm a Christmas freak, so I think
Oh,
of
like
weird
decorating
stuff
them.
like this. But like that's like we don't really do much as a community during summer, aside from like the events. Like that'd be kind of funny to be like, oh, like if anybody, I don't know, just like thought.
I mean, my Christmas
you.
lights are gonna stay up, thank you.
My trees. are gonna be
Um,
up all the
Our
time.
Christmas lights are gonna stay up.
Just
year
like
round,
plant the
so.
seed because maybe we can come up with some type of thing to get people more involved, and that way there's more advertising for the mud run and
Yeah,
everything else we're doing. Think about it.
let's think about that.
Yeah.
The other
We got
thing
time.
that I would love to be able to still pick your brain on
I'm scared.
is, not so much for the guys, but to bring the community together with the kids
Mhm.
is like a hair tutorial, a braiding
I
tutorial.
know.
I would love to be able to figure out how to do that.
I know, we were just talking about that today too. I'm like, how can we make that work with like. It's such a weird wishy-washy thing because like when people are under your direction and like there's like things happen, like, you know, like lice and
Yeah,
just stuff like that. I'm not sure how you can get all that under control.
What are
But
we
at the same
talking
time,
so there was, Nicole and I had a discussion, I don't know, almost a year ago.
it's a while ago.
Their Cost Cutters in Port put on an event at the Legion in Port where it was like, dads, bring your daughters in and we'll teach you how to braid their hair. And I think it's a fun thing
It
to
is.
do, and it's a fun thing to bring the community in, not even for, I mean, dads to learn how to braid, but women to learn how to
It
braid too,
just
because
like
there's.
weirds me out.
a
'Cause I'm
ton of
worried
people that
something
aren't-
bad is gonna happen or like, I don't know what. It's just how I think like what. And then like, okay, it probably should take a limited amount of people. Because what if every single person is like having questions and then it's just me
Mhm.
like, oh, I guess, and whatever. I don't know.
I'd love to just
We
maybe
can like plant the seed
snowball
there
that
too and
idea,
like
just
kind
kind
of
of
think
start
on
thinking
it.
about it and see if there's a way that we
Yeah.
could do it. Cause I do think it could be a
See if
lot of
there's, like,
fun.
interest.
Or, hey, come do this crazy
Yeah.
hairstyle, or, you know, you see a lot of the
And then
chunky
I'm-
knit blanket.
Okay, so I've been thinking about
classes
too, and like on the other side of that too, like if there is people that help me that are not licensed, they don't get in trouble for stuff. Okay, like the whole problem with things.
Sure.
So
So
with
that's
that
what I'd like
said,
to
if
talk about
we,
is
like,
how, like,
yeah,
what those
like, can we
challenges
figure
are.
it out.
Yeah.
I don't know why this just reminded me of that, but, or that reminded me of this, but
Mm.
we were talking late spring last year about all of a sudden, oh, there's the Mel's canoe thing that went from Wabadonia down to Grafton. We're like, oh, we missed it by like a day or whatever.
Mhm.
But I think that'd be a good opportunity too for us to do something down there, like a Bloody Mary bar or something
So
like that.
what?
They-
So Mel's does a big canoe run.
Yeah.
So it's a big fundraiser for Mel's that they start at Wabadonia and they run all the way down to Grafton.
Wait, I'm
and the
sorry,
ending is
Mel's, I'm so.
Mel's
sorry.
Charities.
So
So they're-
nonprofit.
Yeah,
Percent
talking
of
center. No, based out of like Cedarburg. The guy started it
Oh.
a number of years ago. They're huge. If you go down there, they do tons within the community of Grafton and Cedarburg. And they're the ones that we're pushing the development in Saukville, and they really do a ton for the community.
Okay,
A lot of scholarships,
Mhm.
lots of good stuff.
good cause.
So one of their big events is the canoe run. Last year we had talked about doing a Bloody Mary bar, somehow trying to get a little bit more.
What about like an old fashioned bar?
Yeah, whatever. I
Everybody
mean,
Something.
always does Bloody Mary. We should do something different. You know what I
I-
mean?
I'm with her. I like fashions, so
Like everyone does like Bloody Mary. Like let's like
Yeah.
have-
whatever.
Mimosas. Yeah.
yeah,
My man.
drink of choice, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, if we could do it, I think it'd be amazing to be able to try and put something together.
Yeah, I think we just ran out of time last year because all of a sudden when we knew about the event, it was like a week beforehand. We're like, should we try to scramble? And we're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's too
no.
much.
So if we can figure out, I think it's May, right?
May.
Isn't it
Usually
May?
it's beginning of May. Not beginning of May. Right before Memorial Day, I think.
Yeah.
So you have like bars come and like host their,
No, we could
Tables?
do,
or you could be like,
I
okay,
think
we're the
we could
village, we're
do-
hosting this table. Like, how does that work?
I don't think that, I don't,
Mel's River Run.
What if someone's like, I make the best old fashions, I wanna have a table, you know what I mean? Can you do that? I feel like you can't.
Say, I'm sorry.
well, I don't
Oh,
know.
they already have the date. April 27th, 2024.
A family-friendly kayak canoe paddle on the beautiful Milwaukee River. Sponsored by Port State Date.
Yeah, they put in at Wabadonia
Mhm.
and then they exit downtown or whatever.
Downtown Grafton.
It looks like they pull out at the dam in Grafton.
Yeah. You can't really get any further down
That's
than that.
terrifying.
Well before the dam, Veterans Park.
On the other side,
go
north side
down-
of 60.
yeah.
That scares me so much.
North side of 60.
But I mean, they've had, here, I mean, this is from 2022. I mean, all the people that
Oh.
started out, I
Whoa.
mean, so it's a good, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what is that canoe?
Yeah, those are
Canoe
all
or
kayaks.
kayaks. You know, and I don't think you would have to, it's not like you'd have to have somebody set up there all day long.
No,
You know, go and set up an hour, 2 hours before the
Yeah.
launch,
Passing through, yeah.
stay an hour after,
That's it.
and you're
Mhm.
done.
right.
You know, because everybody's gonna be launching pretty quickly at the same time, so
Bye.
it's not an all day thing. Can we
Contact them.
contact them and,
You want me to do that?
yeah, if you want to.
Anybody else want to? I got this.
I can.
No, it's all good. Just have to remind myself.
Ask me next week, I'll remind you of your to-do list.
Okay.
So they already do this and they set up in Wabadonia Park. You want to work in conjunction with them and have the Bloody Mary bar there.
Yeah,
So
Just, yeah, or whatever we can do to kind of help and, you know, highlight, if it's Friends of Fredonia, try to highlight the charity again. You know what I
Would
mean?
do some-
Like,
would do
You know,
something for sure.
set up
There it is.
a tent
Yeah.
With a table and cans of beer or
Mhm,
The best
seltzers
old
or
fashioned.
right,
best old fashioned ever.
Just kidding.
Somebody
then-
better start making them.
and if,
I do it.
you know, we'll figure out what Mel's wants to do, but I mean, obviously it's their event, so they're probably very much
Mhm.
like, oh, this goes towards us, but if we can somehow do a 50-50
Like
towards them. whatever,
percentage.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know
Yeah,
what they already do, if anything there, so,
that sounds fun.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'm glad I remembered that.
That's good, 'cause it's another yearly thing that people can be like, oh, every year they do this.
Yep.
It's a tradition for people. Like, a
Right.
big tradition.
Yes, for sure.
Mhm.
All right, anything else for future consideration?
But I can think of.
No? All right, then,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
7:50.
Thank you for the doodling pen. It's fun. This is why I can't watch TV. I have to like do something else.